Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be talking to you guys about my top 5 tips for hair growth. These are the top 5 tips that I've used to continue growing my hair to my length goal. My length goal is to get my hair to tailbone length, but it has to be healthy. I personally don't see the point in having super long hair if it's not healthy from root to tip. So I'm going to let you guys in on my top 5 tips that I've used to grow my hair, and hopefully at least one of these tips will help you grow your hair too. Tip number 1 that I have for you guys, and I feel like all of my tips always lead back to this number 1 tip, which is to learn what your hair likes. What works for me might not work for the next person. What works for the next person might not work for another person. So I feel like it is so important to learn what your hair likes, learn what makes your hair thrive. So as far as products go, you kind of have to go through a little bit of a process of trial and error. It can be a bit expensive, but it's worth it in the long run to learn what kind of products your hair likes the best. There's all these rules about products that have certain ingredients in them that you're not supposed to use on your hair, and products that have other ingredients in them that you must use on your hair, this, that, and the other. You just have to learn which products work best on your hair. So there are products out there that are geared toward curls. There's products out there geared towards relaxed hair. Try them out and see what works best for you. Also, vitamins and your diet. Think about what you're taking into your body, because health is from the inside out. So if you want to grow healthy hair, you may want to pay attention to what you're taking in. Some people don't believe in hair vitamins or any kind of daily vitamin. Personally, my hair thrives from a hair vitamin or a daily vitamin or even a prenatal vitamin. I've seen my hair double in volume from taking hair vitamins. There's also just daily vitamins you could take. You can take a prenatal vitamin if you want to do that. You don't have to take any vitamin. Again, it's just finding out what your hair likes and what your hair thrives from. Also, as far as figuring out what your hair likes, you have to figure out how often you need to trim your hair. There's all these rules out there about you should trim your hair every 6 weeks or every 11 weeks or once every 3 months. You don't have to follow any specific regimen. You just have to pay attention to your hair and look at the ends of your hair. If you have split ends, of course you want to get rid of those, because split ends just continue to travel up the hair and your whole strand is broken before you know it. So make sure you keep your ends trimmed. How often you trim depends on your hair and, again, what your hair likes. So tip number 1, you just have to learn what your hair likes and what it thrives from. Tip number 2 that was huge in my hair growth process was limiting my use of direct heat on my hair. So I'm not telling anyone out there to completely eliminate heat from your hair care regimen, because there are tons of people out there with long, luscious, beautiful hair and they use heat. So I'm not telling you to eliminate heat by any means, just limit it. If you straighten your hair every day, try straightening once a week or once every 2 weeks, once a month. So for me, I straighten my hair about twice a year right now. For the next person, if they straighten their hair twice a year, they might have a ton of breakage. So maybe someone else needs to straighten their hair once a year or once every 2 years. Some people can straighten their hair every week and have no issues. So I'm not saying eliminate heat, but you should limit the amount of direct heat you use on your hair. Also, if you're using a straightener or a curling iron, know that you don't have to use it on the highest heat setting, unless of course your hair requires that. For example, when I straighten my hair, my straightener is usually at like 375 degrees, maybe 395 at the most. Other people's hair that I straighten, sometimes I have to take it up to like 410 degrees. It just depends on how straight you want your hair to be, and also the texture of your natural hair. Also, if you're going to use heat, please be sure to use a heat protectant. There are a ton of heat protectants out there. There's no reason why nobody should not use a heat protectant when they're using heat on their hair. It does make a difference. It will protect your hair. That's what it's made for. So if you are going to use heat, that's totally fine. Just make sure you use a heat protectant, and also just be sure you're using the appropriate heat setting for your hair texture. So tip number 3 that I feel is really important for hair growth is to keep your scalp and your hair clean, and to also massage your scalp. So I shampoo my scalp and hair like once every week or so, maybe once every 10 days if I need to stretch it a little bit. Other people may need to only shampoo their hair once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, maybe even they can stretch it for a month. But I feel that it's important to keep your scalp clean, because when your scalp is clogged with products and your natural body oils and maybe even sweat, it literally clogs your hair follicles and your scalp and your pores up there, and your hair will grow slower. So before I really learned what my hair likes and what my scalp needs and what my hair needs, I used to only shampoo once every few weeks, and then I noticed that when I started shampooing more often, I saw a lot more hair growth. So it's very important to keep your scalp clean. How often you need to shampoo, again, leads back to tip number 1. You just have to learn what your hair likes and what your hair needs and what your scalp needs as well. The only time I don't shampoo my hair and scalp is when my hair is straight. For obvious reasons, I don't want my hair to revert. So I try to stretch my straight hair for as long as I can by not shampooing. But other than that, I always shampoo my hair once a week or maybe once every 10 days or so. Also, when I shampoo my scalp, I always give myself a really good scalp massage, because that increases blood flow to the scalp, which in turn increases hair growth. So the health of your scalp, how clean your scalp is, how much blood is flowing to your scalp makes a difference in your hair growth. Also, there's I've seen this vibrating spiky thing that you can wash your hair with and your scalp with, and that also stimulates the scalp. I don't have the spiky vibrating thing that stimulates the scalp, but I do have this other spiky weird thing that I use to massage my scalp before I shampoo, or if I have some free time, I'll just massage my scalp with this thing, and it feels so good. And it increases the blood flow to the scalp, it stimulates the scalp, which increases hair growth. And even if it didn't increase hair growth, it just feels so good. I would do it anyway. I don't know if you can find these in stores. I'm sure you can, but I bought mine off of Amazon and I love it. So if you don't have the spiky vibrating thing, try this out, or you can just simply use your hands and fingers to massage your scalp. But you do want to massage and increase the stimulation and the blood flow to your scalp, which will increase hair growth. So tip number 4 is to treat your hair, and also treat your scalp too, but treat your hair. And what I mean by that is do deep conditioning treatments, do hot oil treatments, do protein treatments if you need that, do elasticity treatments if you notice that your curls are kind of droopy and you want them to pop. Just treat your hair. Pay attention to your hair. Again, going back to tip number 1, you have to know what your hair likes and what your hair needs, so that you know what treatment you might need if your hair is not its usual self. I deep condition my hair about every time I shampoo my hair. I always follow it up with a deep conditioner. I do protein treatments on my hair every 3 months or so, more often if I notice that I have a lot of shedding. Other people can't do protein treatments at all because their hair is protein sensitive. That means that when they do a protein treatment, or if they use a product that has too much protein in it, their hair is very brittle. It feels like it's going to break easily. So if you try a protein treatment and you feel like your hair is extremely brittle even after deep conditioning, then you know that you should probably leave protein alone and try other products. Hot oil treatments I do maybe once a month or so, or as needed. I think the most universal treatment that everybody can benefit from is a deep conditioning treatment. So I recommend that everybody does deep conditioning treatments. There's tons of them out there. You can make your own concoctions. I just highly recommend deep conditioning treatments. And as far as protein treatments and hot oil treatments and elasticity treatments, things like that, again, you just have to figure out what your hair likes, what your hair needs. Like I said, I deep condition once a week, once every 2 weeks or so. I do protein treatments every couple of months. Elasticity treatments I only do after I have had my hair straight and I'm going back to curly and I want to make sure my curls pop. Some people might need elasticity treatments more often because they're transitioning or for whatever reason. Same with hot oil treatments. It's just see how your hair feels. If it's feeling extremely dry, you can do a hot oil treatment along with the deep conditioning treatment. It's all about trial and error and figuring out what your hair likes and needs. Tip number 5 that I have to help with hair growth that has really helped with the growth of my hair is to protect your hair. And by that I mean protective styles, so buns, braids, cornrows, wigs, weaves. My favorite protective styles are buns of all kinds, low buns, as you can see I have now, high buns. I love 2 cornrows, just keep it simple. I film tons of hair tutorials with my hair out. I wear my hair out on the weekends most of the time, but during the week, my hair is usually in a bun or some kind of style where I don't have to mess with it. I've tried box braids. I've had weaves in the past. If you're going to have your hair in some kind of protective style like box braids or under a wig or under a weave, you want to make sure that you're still taking care of your hair within that protective style. There's ways to get to your hair and your scalp to keep it moisturized until you take your protective style out. But I personally feel like keeping your hair protected, especially keeping your ends protected, is so important to retaining length and helping with hair growth. If you find that you have a lot of shedding and or breakage, try a protective style and see how your hair does with that. Just make sure you take care of your hair while it's in the style. So I have one more bonus tip, and this one is just as important as tip number 1, which is learning what your hair likes and thrives from. But the bonus tip is to just be patient with your hair. Everybody's hair grows. Everybody's hair just grows at different rates. Some people can grow their hair super fast, no problem. Other people have a slower growth rate, and that's okay. You just have to be patient. Some people think that their hair doesn't grow or it's not growing. Know that your hair is growing. Just be aware of breakage and excess shedding and any other things that might be causing it to seem like your hair isn't growing. Everybody's hair grows. If someone out there knew the magical way to grow hair super fast, all of us that want super long, luscious hair would have hair down to our ankles, no problem. You just have to be patient. Your hair will grow. Just take care of it. Learn what it likes. Limit heat if you can. Shampoo it more often. Treat it and protect it, and it will grow. You will see growth. You just have to be patient. Alright guys, so those are my top 5 tips for healthy hair growth. I hope you're able to take at least one tip to help you grow your hair. If you have any tips to add that you've tried and you've seen some results from, feel free to comment down below so that we can all share and learn something new here. And also make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. And until next time, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!